In today's video, we are linking the lessons learned from the book Salem's Lot by Stephen King to how they can be applied throughout our lives by exploring one of the most controversial topics, paranormal activities. Salem's Lot by Stephen King is a suspenseful and atmospheric horror novel that delves into the unsettling transformation of a small town under the influence of an ancient evil. Here's a detailed summary. Setting and introduction. The novel is set in the fictional town of Jerusalem's Lot, commonly known as Salem's Lot, located in Maine. The town is described as a typical New England community with a population of about 1,300, characterized by its old-fashioned charm and a sense of underlying unease. The story begins in the late 1970s and captures the essence of a seemingly peaceful small-town life. Ben Mears' return. The protagonist, Ben Mears, is a novelist who returns to Salem's Lot after a long absence. Ben had lived in the town as a child and had unsettling memories of a haunted house, the Marston House, which looms ominously on a hill overlooking the town. He returns hoping to find inspiration for his new book and to escape the pressures of his writing career. Ben is also grappling with personal demons, including a troubled past and a recent failed marriage. The Marston House and Kurt Barlow. Disappearance and strange occurrences. As Barlow and Straker settle into the Marston House, a series of mysterious disappearances and deaths begin to plague the town. First, a young boy named Ralphie Glick and his brother, Danny, vanish, followed by the brutal murder of their parents. The town is thrown into a state of fear and confusion, with no clear explanation for the unsettling events. The vampire's influence. Ben Mears, Susan Norton, a local schoolteacher and Ben's romantic interest, and Mark Petrie, a smart, horror-obsessed teenager, start to investigate the strange occurrences. They discover that Barlow is a vampire who has taken residence in the Marston House. Barlow's influence spreads rapidly, turning residents into vampires and creating a growing army of undead creatures. The struggle against evil. As the vampire epidemic worsens, Ben, Susan, and Mark team up to confront the evil that has gripped Salem's Lot. They discover that the vampire's power is rooted in the town's history and is tied to the dark energies of the Marston House. The trio devises a plan to destroy Barlow and end the terror. Climax and confrontation. The climax of the novel unfolds as Ben, Susan, and Mark engage in a desperate battle against Barlow and his minions. The group confronts Barlow in a final showdown, hoping to destroy the vampire and liberate the town from his influence. The confrontation is intense and harrowing, with numerous lives at stake. Resolution. In the aftermath of the confrontation, the town of Salem's Lot is left in ruins. Many residents have been turned into vampires or killed, and the survivors are left to grapple with the trauma of their experiences. Ben and Mark manage to escape, but the novel ends on a somber note, reflecting the lasting impact of the evil that once plagued the town. Themes and legacy. Salem's Lot explores themes of good versus evil, the power of memory and trauma, and the idea of small-town horror. King's portrayal of the vampire as a malevolent force that corrupts and consumes is both terrifying and profound. The novel's blend of supernatural horror with the mundane realities of small-town life creates a chilling and unforgettable story. King's atmospheric writing and detailed characterization make Salem's Lot a classic of the horror genre, and its impact on readers has solidified its place as one of Stephen King's seminal works. Stephen King's decision to write Salem's Lot was influenced by a combination of personal experiences, literary inspirations, and thematic interests. Here's a detailed exploration of the factors that contributed to the creation of this iconic novel. 1. Personal experience and setting. King drew from his own life experiences and observations of small-town America to create the setting for Salem's Lot. He had a deep familiarity with New England towns, having grown up in Maine. This background provided him with a nuanced understanding of small-town life, including its charm and its undercurrents of fear and tension. The sense of familiarity with the setting allowed King to build a vivid and believable world in which the supernatural horror could unfold. 2. Inspiration from classic literature and films. King was influenced by classic horror literature and films, which shaped his approach to Salem's Lot. Notably, he was inspired by Bram Stoker's Dracula. The most direct literary influence on Salem's Lot is Stoker's Dracula, one of the most iconic vampire novels. King admired how Stoker used the vampire myth to explore themes of fear, repression, and the clash between the old and the new. King's novel echoes Stoker's approach, but places it in a modern American setting. Richard Matheson's I Am Legend. This novel, which features a post-apocalyptic world overrun by vampires, influenced King's portrayal of the vampire as a symbol of existential dread and societal collapse. Matheson's work provided a model for how to handle the vampire mythos in a contemporary context. The Gothic tradition. King's work often reflects his engagement with the Gothic tradition, characterized by its focus on dark, atmospheric settings and psychological horror. Salem's Lot taps into the Gothic fascination with haunted places and the corrupting influence of evil. 3. Exploration of evil and community. King's interest in the nature of evil and the impact of malevolent forces on a community drove much of the thematic content in Salem's Lot. He was interested in exploring how evil can infiltrate and corrupt even the most idyllic settings. By placing a supernatural evil in a small-town context, King could examine how fear and darkness affect human behavior and relationships within a close-knit community. 4. The haunted house trope. The Marston house in Salem's Lot serves as a central symbol of evil, and its design was influenced by King's fascination with the haunted house trope. King has mentioned that he was intrigued by the idea of a house with a dark history, serving as a vessel for supernatural malevolence. The Marston house is a nod to the classic haunted house stories, but with a modern twist, enhancing its relevance to contemporary readers. 5. The influence of American folklore and mythology. King often draws on American folklore and mythology to infuse his stories with a sense of cultural resonance. In Salem's Lot, he incorporates elements of folklore and local legends, blending them with a vampire myth to create a story that feels both familiar and unsettling. This approach allows King to explore deeper themes while grounding his supernatural elements in a relatable context. 6. Writing challenges and goals. King's goal with Salem's Lot was also to challenge himself as a writer by tackling a novel-length work that combined supernatural horror with rich character development and intricate plotting. At the time, he had primarily written short stories and was looking to expand his skills in crafting a full-length novel. The success of Carrie provided a boost in confidence and a desire to further explore the horror genre's potential. 7. Reflection on fear and human nature. Lastly, King's exploration of fear and human nature is central to Salem's Lot. He wanted to examine how ordinary people confront and respond to extraordinary terror. The novel delves into the psychological and emotional impacts of facing an unnameable evil, reflecting King's broader interest in the human psyche and the ways in which individuals and communities grapple with their darkest fears. In summary, Stephen King's creation of Salem's Lot was driven by his personal experiences, literary influences, thematic interests, and a desire to explore the nature of evil within the context of a small American town. The novel reflects his fascination with classic horror tropes, psychological depth, and the impact of supernatural forces on human communities. Beliefs in ghosts vary widely across cultures and individuals, and understanding why some people believe in them while others do not involves a mix of psychological, cultural, and philosophical factors. Here's a detailed exploration of the reasons behind these differing beliefs. Reasons people believe in ghosts. 1. Cultural and religious beliefs. Tradition and folklore. Many cultures have rich traditions and folklore involving spirits and ghosts. These stories are passed down through generations, reinforcing the belief in ghosts as part of cultural identity. Religious teachings. Some religions have doctrines that include the existence of spirits or souls of the deceased. Beliefs in ghosts can be intertwined with religious views on the afterlife and the existence of otherworldly beings. 2. Personal experiences. Unexplained phenomena. Individuals who have experienced unexplained phenomena, such as strange noises or apparitions, may interpret these events as encounters with ghosts. Personal experiences can strongly influence belief. especially if they are emotionally charged or impactful. Oh, emotional connection. People may perceive ghosts as a way to connect with loved ones who have passed away. The desire for continued connection with deceased relatives can foster belief in spirits. 3. Psychological factors. Oh, pattern recognition. The human brain is wired to recognize patterns and seek explanations for ambiguous stimuli. This cognitive tendency can lead people to interpret random or ambiguous occurrences as ghostly phenomena. Oh, fear and comfort. Ghost beliefs can offer comfort in the face of death and the unknown. For some, believing in ghosts provides a sense of continuity or reassurance that there is something beyond death. 4. Social and cultural influences. Oh, media and entertainment. Movies, books, and television shows often depict ghosts and supernatural events, reinforcing the idea of their existence. Popular culture can shape and reinforce beliefs by presenting ghosts as a common and relatable element of human experience. Oh, peer influence. Social circles and community beliefs can also play a significant role. If a person's family or friends believe in ghosts, they may be more likely to adopt similar beliefs. 5. Historical and ancestral beliefs. Oh, historical legacy. In some cultures, beliefs in ghosts are deeply rooted in historical traditions and ancestral practices. These long-standing beliefs can be maintained through rituals, festivals, and communal stories. Reasons some people do not believe in ghosts. Summary. Beliefs in ghosts and supernatural phenomena are shaped by a complex interplay of cultural, psychological, and personal factors. Those who believe in ghosts often do so because of cultural traditions, personal experiences, and emotional needs. On the other hand, skeptics and non-believers tend to rely on scientific explanations, rational inquiry, and empirical evidence to understand unexplained phenomena. The divergence in beliefs reflects broader differences in how people interpret and make sense of the world around them. Now you need to watch How to Be a Millionaire or have a look at the presidential debate. If you are a curious person such as myself and would love to learn at least one new fact each day, whether it is to enhance your personal relationships, finance, professional life, health, and much more, you have come to the right place. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.